Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. So this is very sad. This is a beautiful picture of SHANA DONAHUE. Really sad. She was killed by her boyfriend Fleetwood. She died sometime in May. However, reports are just emerging about how she died. Her boyfriend had killed her with a scissors, with a knife. There was blood everywhere when the police came. What happened was this couple had broken up, and SHANA had moved on. When I mean moved on, she was thinking about her life, wanting to do better for herself, and she released a beautiful YouTube video, and I'm going to leave a clip of it at the end of this. She left YouTube. She practically only just came back a few months ago, and the last video that she's done, this one, was made at the end of May, sometime around when she was killed. Her boyfriend had stabbed and strangled her in her apartment. This was her own apartment that he had moved into. They briefly shared this apartment somewhere in Southeast Washington, and authorities have now charged Fleetwood with first-degree murder while armed. Obviously, there was a knife, there was a scissors on her body, there were bite marks and all of that. Now, in a telephone interview, SHANA's father said that the couple loved each other, but that his daughter had broken up with this particular man about 2 years ago, and it was just a month ago that they got back together, and Fleetwood had moved in with his daughter. Her father described her as a good soul, a good soul. I mean, if you look at her, she just looks really beautiful. She looks like someone who is very caring. She was a teacher. She talks about her students. She talks about how she had to take some time off YouTube. She didn't want to be a YouTuber, as it was, just basically because she didn't want to be selling products that she didn't believe in. She just wanted to show people how to take care of their natural hair, seeing that so many people asked her about her natural hair. So she really looks like a genuine person. She was a teacher at Fresh Farm Footprints, and she talked about food and all of that. You would see that in what she says. Now, early Thursday morning in May, a neighbor went to check on her and saw her body. Oh, it was really bloody. Another neighbor called 911 and described hearing a very loud fight from the apartment the night before. When the police got to the apartment, they saw SHANA in a fetal position. She was near a glass table, and according to the court papers, there were puncture wounds to her stomach, her neck, her right biceps, her right thigh, her hip, her shoulder blade. Bite marks were on her right wrist. What I find really upsetting is what he said to the police. He had walked into the apartment. His clothes were covered in blood, and he asked to speak to SHANA, and he told police that everything could be explained. It's very strange. I don't think he was in his right mind at all. He says that the couple had had a fight where both of them had pushed one another, and that SHANA had stabbed him first with a pair of scissors, and then he grabbed the scissors out of her hands and he defended himself. He says, "She tried to get me really angry on purpose, and I don't know why." He said, "It's like a thing all women have. Yeah, she was trying to get me upset. A man has to die to be truly in love. I never had this done before. I think it's a devilish type thing. It's hard to explain. I can see it. When you are in a relationship with a girl, it's like a psych thing." Then he now carries on and says, "It was like something in me, like the demon in me wanted to kill, and once I killed her, I came alive." This is what the documents show that this person said. Now, he also says that he had been drinking alcohol and smoking marijuana before the fight. Basically he must have had some kind of intoxication, and for him to be seeing the devil or whatever he was seeing, and he killed this girl in the manner that he did. I just pray for the family. I pray for peace for them. May her soul rest in perfect peace. This is very sad, and I would say to any woman out there who is going through any kind of domestic violence, it doesn't have to be physical. If a man treats you like rubbish, screams and you, makes you feel really worthless emotionally, you need to seek help. There is help out there, and some women actually feel like they're being judged. But listen, if people judge you, that's their thing. They know nothing. No one should judge you. You look for the right person to speak to. Speak to someone in your church. It depends on what religion you have, or speak to your parent. They might kick a fuss, but the main thing is that you come out of that alive. All you need to keep safe. Rest in peace, Shana. Do not forget to like, subscribe, and let me know what your thoughts are.
Humble when it came to deciding whether or not I wanted to be a YouTuber was truly understanding what it meant to have a platform. When you have the opportunity to influence a generation, whether it's just a certain niche of this generation, whether it's just the black woman with natural hair that you're influencing, when you have the opportunity to influence a generation, that's a lot of responsibility and weight. So I decided to wait, to really figure out a mission and a path that I wanted to walk as far as inspiration and as far as what I shared. I'm a very complex person. You can't just understand me just by looking at me. That's just not going to happen. Anyone who truly knows me knows that. So when it came to just creating a facade for social media, it was very difficult for me to settle for that. Basically because I understood that no one would really understand the entire package just looking at the picture. But over these 3 years, I've matured a lot. I've grown a lot. I've really found my true path and what I feel is really meant for me. So with what I project now, I'm not so concerned about whether or not people truly understand who I am, because I know who I am. Like, this is not the life that I'm meant to live. I'm meant to be a gardener in my garden with my students, teaching them about what they put in their body. That's what I'm meant to do. But ultimately, I realized that I can do that no matter what profession I do. Whether I'm a doctor or a lawyer or a farmer or a YouTuber, I can always have my garden and have kids that I'm teaching and being the kind of philanthropist that I want to be. And ultimately, YouTube is a super amazing opportunity if you have a philanthropic heart like I do. To me that first year. But anyway, when we first met, she comes up to come on board, and I went to their back to school night, basically to just build rapport with the teachers and the students, and get to know some of the community, the school community. So I go to the back to school night. I have my table, I have my vegetables. I teach students about nutrition education, gardening education, and environmental sustainability and stewardship. So I have my table with, all my stuff on it, and handouts and sign-up list, and a teacher from the background comes out of nowhere like, "Oh my God, you're Napp Queen. I watch all your videos." And ultimately, I love her so much now. That year that I worked at that school, she was a bright light when I saw her. She knows who she is, and I love you. I don't know when I'm going to make my way to your school again, because ultimately all the schools are closed right now. But just know, yes, you were a significant part of my path, but I love you. And thank you for,